babbling talons, Batman? What happened to all the toilet paper?
Joker!
Okay.
Welcome back to the Struggle Session Podcast. I am your host, Otaku, and of course, I am with
K1.
Y squared.
JK Irving.
and Otaku. So over this weekend, which was Saturday, it was DC Fandom. So, time to talk about it. And I believe K1 has some points that he wants to go over.
Yeah, so just gonna go and get this out of the way. So, one of the biggest announcements at DC Fandom was, of course, the announcement of 2 new DC games from WB Games, one from Rocksteady and one from WB Montreal. So, of course, let's get into the first game, which was WB Montreal's Gotham Knights, which will be literally the Bat Family game in which, according to what we had from the trailer, Bruce Wayne is dead. He's activated the supposed, failsafe to have Batgirl, Nightwing, Red Hood, and Robin come together and now become the new set of heroes to protect Gotham City from the villains, and along with the main, seems to be the secret bosses, that is the Court of Owls. So overall, I really enjoyed it, and it was nice of them at WB Montreal to actually give us a 4-minute gameplay session. The thing that chaps my ass about it was literally, as soon as the trailers dropped, some assholes on the internet, shocking, decided to just downvote it with the 2 most petty bullshit reasons ever. So one reason was, according to what some people think, was it's now turned the Arkham series into a quote-unquote bullet sponge in which these characters are supposedly going to be broken as shit, as they literally can take anything, and it's not as good as the original Batman where you could take maybe 2-3 bullet shots and you die. So they're saying the realism is dead and all that. Even though in the trailer that probably was the alpha gameplay, meaning we don't know how much the villains are going to do for that. And then, of course, the second and really most pathetic and childish reason is, well, there's no Batman, no bye. And I am just because I remember going back through, message boards of the Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, and Arkham Knight, of people bitching and moaning about not being able to play the story as other characters. So now we actually have a new game, which WB Montreal hyped up for a week and then released, along with gameplay without even asking it, and then literally gives us 4 separate characters, and probably some DLC, I can guarantee that, to play with. And you all are literally shitting on it because there's no Batman? Are you fucking serious? Is that really it? And I'll even have the receipts because the director actually reached out and stated the reason he took away, quote-unquote, Batman is to take away the certain feeling of safety. Seeing as Batman is protecting the streets of Gotham City for many years, and during that time he's fully developed, so technically he's at his prime, and now without Batman, the player no longer has stability in the game to lean on, and that creates an entirely different atmosphere in the game, and the player still has an experience with it. But also, it allows you, the player, to take these 4 heroes and build your own team of heroes to protect Gotham City. So you will now have the option of, doing the whole game with Batgirl, Red Hood, Robin, or Nightwing, or teaming together with friends to actually have that multiplayer experience, which most of you have been whining about. So that was from the director, Mr. Patrick Redding, who literally went out of his way, thank you, Mr. Redding, for explaining that. But seriously, this is the exact reason why some of you are shit in the gaming community, because literally you are the same people who are bitching and crying about how long it took WB Montreal to announce the game, and then of course when they give you the full week of hype, you all keep bitching and moaning about it taking too long. Then they released the trailer along with gameplay, which they didn't have to do. They could have just gave us a trailer, and then you just bitch and moan about the smallest things when it's literally just the first piece of it. Seriously, people, wait. Hold your fucking horses and let's wait for the full product. Let's wait to see what we get majorly down the line. Then you can pass your judgment. Stop shitting on shit for stupid reasons, i.e. Last of Us 2, Death Stranding, and what other games can come in the future. But overall, just enjoy it, be grateful, and actually give it a chance before you just want to shit on something. So that's just my rant. Would anyone like to jump off that?
So, when did Batman start beginning to point out his fail-safe, in case he died?
As soon as he first started, he had everything ready.
This-
So Batman always has a fail-safe for everything. He has it for the Justice League, his own self too, just in case he goes rogue. He has a contingency plan for every little thing because he's a paranoid motherfucker like everyone else in this goddamn world.
So, the one other thing is you got to remember is ever since he took in Dick Grayson, he was grooming Dick Grayson to be the next Batman. So, when you think about that, he was already planning ahead in case anything would ever happen to him. Because, let's call it, Bruce Wayne did not fear death. He knew. And honestly, I think if you play on his mental state, he wanted to die as Batman, protecting the city. So, if he did that and died, we all know he had a plan ready.
Yeah, Batman has a contingency plan for everything except for his parents coming back from the dead.
Oh, you went with a joke. I thought you were going on a serious note.
Wow.
Alright, cool. This is why we have guests.
So, and overall, let's also remember that the game is not coming out this year. It's coming out in 2021, so there is plenty of time to fix up everything from, whatever the mechanics are. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how this multiplayer mechanic's going to work in, the main story.
Dude, as long as I'm Jason Todd, I'm good.
And as long as they avoid the massive Assassin's Creed Unity fiasco,
True.
I'm good.
And they...
Well, I mean, WB Montreal and Ubisoft are just two different companies. So at least, Montreal can learn from Ubisoft's mistakes and other gaming mistakes, but overall they'll have their own twist to it, which hopefully we will all enjoy.
And the main thing for me, I would say, is I really want to see how they're going to do the boss battle mechanics. I don't want wasted boss fights, i.e. Arkham Knight with Deathstroke. And then, of course, if it is going to be multiplayer, oh man, if we get a literal army of Talons as a boss fight, I'm all for that. That would be amazing.
Can it just be let's say the multiplayer is the four of us, we just surround the boss and just beat his ass?
Well, that did happen with Freeze in the gameplay,
Yeah.
so
let's
we'll
just
see
beat
what
his
that
ass.
So-
It's just us bullying one person.
we're literally bullying a man who's trying to save his dead wife. His
right.
comatose wife.
Or there's the one henchman, and then you're like, came to the wrong neighborhood, motherfucker. Just beat his ass till he's dead.
I just did this to support my family. This is going to be a fresh reboot, i.e. when you saw Barbara Gordon walking around, she's not Oracle, she is still Batgirl. Okay.
Well, I mean, she was Oracle, and then she had to step up, but not be behind the scenes. So.
Okay.
Haha! Didn't even actually meant to be a joke. Okay, alright. The trailer, 100% better than the whole entire Justice League movie. Just by watching the trailer, I already enjoyed it more than the Justice League movie.
Well, I mean, literally, when you kick off your trailer with Darkseid.
No. Ubisoft, he's not Darkseid yet.
Well, a younger version of Darkseid, but still, literally the first thing you see is Darkseid literally lifting his axe and just bringing that down. I'm just like, okay, we're hyped. We're already hyped for this, but thank you. We just saying.
I got even more hype without seeing a mustache, so I'm good.
Hands down, I was bawling. I was crying. After 3 years, all the release of Snyder Cut movement, we won against the haters and the critics and the jackasses, and next year we're finally getting the Snyder Cut.
Guys, we Sonic'd it.
True.
We
True.
Sonic'd it.
Hey, let's big shout outs to Zack Snyder for actually listening and actually going above and beyond and actually working to get the Snyder Cut.
Also, shout outs to all the actors that were in Justice League that were supporting Snyder as well.
Shout outs to Batflick.
Yeah.
Literally coming back just to do this.
Shout out to AT&T and HBO Max to actually listening to the fans and not the Warner Brothers execs who wants to bury it.
I.e. literally going into debt, almost sold the WB games and literally looking to sell Crunchyroll.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
But yeah, dude, I love the trailer. I really can't wait to see it because my parents got HBO Max, so I'm just gonna be watching it there as usual.
I literally have a 30-day free trial that I'm not going to use until the Snyder Cut comes out. And then also I found out that it's going to be 4 hours long, but each is going to come in an episodic, so it's going to be 1 hour per episode.
Oh, he's doing an episode, not just a full movie? Come on.
That's what he said.
A full movie will be coming out later down the line for international fans.
Eh.
So
But
yeah,
still, come on.
Hey, I don't care. When it comes out, all 4 better be released at the same time.
Oh, I also want to make another note. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention Wonder Woman 1984. It just crossed my mind just now as I was thinking. But on that topic, let's talk about that real quick because I accidentally not listed it as that, so we're gonna jump right there. The second trailer for it was more in depth than the first trailer, which I kind of enjoyed. And just watching their panel and all the questions, seeing Cheetah going Apex Predator, it looks really good. So I want to know how Chris Pine comes back. I'm just gonna assume time space continuum.
it's Maxwell Lord, hands down. He has something to deal with it.
Okay.
So, the main thing for me was literally they got through, the swinging on lightning first, but then when they actually went to all of the action, i.e. the Cheetah versus Wonder Woman in her Golden Eagle armor, I'm like, okay. And then literally that Cheetah, wow. They did a good job. And they didn't, make her dark Cheetah. They made her full-on, light. You can still see, it's humanoid Cheetah. Because it's, more light-skinned than the original Cheetah in the comics, who's literally orange skin. So I'm like, okay, I can deal with this. It's not bad, but it's kind of like the actress playing her is reflective of Jamie Foxx playing Electrode. The typical nobody who wants to be powerful and then actually gets that power.
Technically, it's more on Electro for the not MCU. The movie one is just he wanted to be noticed more than wanted power. He just wanted to be noticed.
Well, it's kind of like her, because remember she says in the movie, she says, I've seen people who have everything compared to people who have nothing. So it's the equivalent
at least
of...
she was noticed. The only reason that in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 for, Electro was just, I'm not being noticed for the work I've done. He had power of, higher up, but, no one noticed it. It was him being noticed. Now, if you want, seeing power, it's just I want to say Venom, but Venom was mostly about revenge, not about the power. Because if you're trying to relay it about Electro and Cheetah, that's two different scenarios of one, wanting power, seeing power, but just wants it. And one wants to be noticed. You know what I mean?
But it's just the typical. It plays at the equilibrium of the little guy becoming the bad guy. The innocent person who originally would never hurt a fly, and then they get a shot at power. Because remember when Dylan became Electro the first time, he didn't just go apeshit. It wasn't until that one where Spider-Man started applying on that, and he says, "You lied to me. You just wanted to use me to make yourself bigger."
I would say it's more for Cheetah's sake. It's more like what's his face in Shazam.
Dr. Sivana?
That's it.
It's true.
That's more like that than Electro. That's what I was trying to think of.
Well, yeah, but it's never. It's the equivalent of never meet your heroes. Because remember, she was honestly in the trailer, she looks like she's obsessed with Diana. She wants her looks, and then of course she finds out she's Wonder Woman. Because then when she actually steps up without the Cheetah powers, she's actually on equal terms. But then when she gets the Cheetah powers, okay, now she's really gonna have to step up.
So basically, friendship turns into jealousy, jealousy into obsession, obsession into evil rage. This is a parallel from Batman Forever, Jim Carrey, Riddler.
That is true. I guess we can also put that as, because of course when you got turned down just by one thing, you were supposed to be different. I'll make you see. So I'll agree there.
Alright, so jumping off the Riddler, the Batman.
Ooh.
Is
So Batman.
I gotta say, I need everyone to apologize to Robert Pattinson real quick, because the way he did young Batman, I actually really enjoyed it. Like, this version of Batman, where he just beat the shit out of one person, like, what the fuck are you gonna do? Just, like, mid-air slam, I'm like, oh, okay, alright.
I will
But
give...
also, why does he have the Winter Soldier look? When he took off the mask, he just has that Winter Soldier vibe, yeah.
Well, that's just literally this movie is going to be the noir Batman, because literally it's dark. Like, come on, the first scene was literally, like, you were there when I said, is that Hush? Because the bandage is getting wrapped around other people's face, and I literally thought it was Hush.
That's the Riddler.
Yes, and then we were
Riddler,
like,
yeah.
And then it's
Well,
like...
I mean, it gave it off when it gave riddles and questions, but, like, mostly the Riddler's all... Depending on which Riddler, it's more of, hey, find this location, here's my riddle, type thing. But this one, I like it. It's a bit dark, and I'm wondering who's going to be playing that.
Right, but then just like he has a bag.
Sorry.
He has a bag over his head. Like, that's just the first time I've ever seen the Riddler. Because usually the Riddler's a showman. You know, he always makes sure that you see him when he's giving the riddle. But this time, it's like the Shadow Riddler. This Riddler is going to be more secretive and be probably more deadly. Because, you know, in certain comics, the Riddler is like a very sadistic person in his riddles. So I'm hoping we see more of that Riddler.
Yeah, it's most likely the Riddler will be portraying in a way the Zodiac Killer vibe.
I can see that.
Yeah. Who would you guys want the Riddler to be? Like, the actor-wise?
No idea.
The Riddler is played by Paul Dano.
In this one?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, if it wasn't, who would you like?
I would say Matthew Gray Gubler from Criminal Minds.
I want Neil Patrick Harris. I've been waiting for this my whole life. After How I Met Your Mother, I want Neil Patrick Harris to play the Riddler. Nice suit and everything. But that's just me.
Yeah. But also, like, I like how, you know, this is not going to be an origin story. It's going to be the already experienced Batman, that he's already been wearing the suit and doing this for a few years. So that's good.
It's exactly like Spider-Man Homecoming.
Right, so it's not a full origin story.
I mean, like, after, what,
like,
5 Batman movies, we actually get one that skips the origins.
Yeah.
So, you know.
But then they actually bring in, like, the original first round. So we already know a young Catwoman will be in it. The Falcone family will be in it. We know that there's going to be, like, a little shot of Penguin, but he's not Penguin yet. They literally said that in the thing.
Not full Penguin.
Right. Just starting out. But probably by the end.
He's going to have a bigger role.
Right. So, like,
it's just going to hit up to Batman 2, you know?
Right.
So, just like every DC movie, you know?
Oh, yeah, shout-outs to Black Jim Gordon.
Oh, yeah!
That was out of nowhere.
It's actually really good.
Yeah.
So we're gonna continue on this movie line. I'll save Suicide Squad for last. So we'll jump to Shazam 2: Fury of the Gods. All they did was announce the name of it. They couldn't go more into detail. I know they really wanted to, but all we got was the name, the Fury of the Gods. So I don't know if, you know, The Rock's gonna be in it. So Black Adam's coming in right after, you know, his first standalone movie. Don't know how they're going to do with that, but we'll talk to more about that later. But what do you guys think about Shazam 2: Fury of the Gods?
Well,
like, what's your theory on how this movie's going to play out?
Well, for me, it's going to be the Shazam family versus Sivana and Mr. Mind.
I.e. the Monster Society?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, what I know is that they're saving Black Adam for the final Shazam movie.
Oh, the third one, Shazam versus Black Adam?
Yeah, because when you have Shazam versus Black Adam, you can't go any further than that.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, we got to remember that in number 1, spoilers if you haven't seen Shazam, that they don't even... Like, they hint at Black Adam, but they don't even say his name. Because, you know, when they're giving him the full story of the original person who had Shazam powers, he just went mad and we sealed him away. So they were trying to keep that hush-hush, because that's what everybody was expecting.
Well, I mean, right before the Shazam movie came out, I believe The Rock already came out that he was going to be playing Black Adam, but there was no info from that. So they already knew from Shazam 1 that, Black Adam's going to come, but we just don't know when.
Right, because that's what I mean. They were trying to keep it hush-hush because they didn't even say Black Adam. They just said, oh, he had the power, and then he went mad, and then we sealed him away.
I think didn't he just have a different name at that point? And then once he broke free, he just declared himself as Black Adam?
I think so, because I know he
so
went
that's why it was hush-hush right then, was because he didn't have a name for himself. Because I have a feeling he was still in prison, and once after the fact of Shazam happened at the end, Black Adam was broke free.
Right. But just like they, when he wasn't Black Adam, he went by his Egyptian name because he was, like, when he becomes Pharaoh, he stays by that name. And then, of course, he gives himself that moniker later down the line.
Yeah, because... sorry.
Yeah, no, you go on.
Okay, so another reason why it took this long, because from what Rock was saying, they were working on the script, because script is everything for the past 5 to 6 years, and 2, they're trying to find a director, because at the same time, a whole lot of behind-the-scenes drama was happening with DC, Warner Brothers, and that's why they couldn't have moved forward.
I can see that.
I wonder if like in Shazam 2 that they're gonna have those like flashback scenes to like the ancient first Shazam and like what he's been going through, like as the Shazam family goes on like doing like whatever plot specific thing that they do in the movie.
Well, because that's another thing that could spin off, because, of course, the whole title is Fury of the Gods, so, like, are they really going to bring in Zeus, Hercules, literally the people who granted Shazam the power? Because I could see a point of seeing as Billy Bastion gave his power and made the Shazam family, like, the gods come down saying, whoa, we cannot have this many Shazams. Someone in your family might go rogue, and we don't want to go through like we did again, so we need to keep the balance in check. So it's going to be probably the movie of proving that, in case it's not against this monster society, it's going to be a movie of proving the Shazam family deserves the power. That's another theory for me.
Okay. Alright, on that note, I know it kind of seems like, I'm rushing through things, but, we're going to jump to Black Adam with the teasers that they have given us. I.e., Dr. Fate, Atom Smasher, Hawkman?
Yes, yeah. Hawkman.
Yeah. So, now, those teasers to bring up this movie is really great, and I hope to God that The Rock does a great job as Black Adam, because he did have a list beforehand of what, if he was going to be in a DC character, he had to have these criterias. One of them was strong enough to beat Superman. And some other things. And most people went, ooh, he's going to be Shazam. But when he got announced as Black Adam, ooh, boom, internet blew up. But, that teaser for it just gave me goosebumps.
I won't lie, of course, The Rock is a perfect choice for Black Adam. The thing that got me was right at the end when he literally called out all the superheroes, literally Flash, Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman. To me, that literally hints Black Adam is going to play a very big part in the DC universe, and I will not be surprised if we literally see him clash with other DC heroes later down the line. Because, after Shazam, I don't see anything after that.
3 words. Legion of Doom.
I can agree, but that just depends on if they're going to take it through the Snyderverse or through whatever we call it now.
You mean the DCEU?
I guess so.
It's essentially the DCEU.
I'm just saying it's split now between the DCEU and the Snyderverse.
No, it's not the Snyderverse, because Zack Snyder said his movie, the Snyder Cut, is an Elseworld title, completely its own thing. So the DC.
So it's essentially like the TV show. It's a standalone universe.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Except for now, they have announced that sorry to go different on topic, but it's just fresh in my head. That it is hinted that Grant Gustin will appear in the Flash movie.
well, it's gonna be Flashpoint. So they literally in the trailer of that it said time travel. So I'm like, well, we know where this is going.
Yeah. But back to Black Adam though. Who's the actor that they just said that was the Atom Smasher?
That kid.
He just showed up out of nowhere in that panel. But like, all my jokes was about Jumanji 3. You got anything to add, Westberg?
No, other than that, like the thing that caught me off guard the most about Black Adam is that
he's not black. I understand, but he's Egyptian.
It's The Rock. Like I didn't really associate him with working with like anything DC related because this was his own thing.
This is announced like what 4 or 5 years ago that he became Black Adam. So, but they finally now acted on it, and then also it's also weird seeing The Rock not play a hero role. He gets to be the villain or the anti-hero. It's very weird to see an actor that you see every time be a hero in everything he plays. But, it's a good mix and a good chance to, grow as an actor to play the villain. I mean, the only time he played a villain was, like, Fast and Furious just to catch Toretto. But, like, he did a good job of that. But he also acted like a good guy because he was on part of the law in the movie trying to catch, a bad guy. But, like, the way that they could twist it is, Toretto's a good guy. Let's not have him captured,
Well, we also got to remember, Scorpion King started out as a hero, then in The Mummy Returns, he was a bad guy.
That's true.
Plus, and I'm still never forgiving people for this, I literally wanted to see how the Scorpion King fell from grace. Because literally, frees people from slavery, literally is the king, literally can restart the thing, and then, oh no, I'm just going to take my army and conquer the world. Why? Never found
we'll
that
wait
out.
till the future. Let's see what happens. Alright, I'm going to jump off of movies and go straight back to the video game. And Suicide kills the Justice League. That trailer, unbeknownst to K1, takes place in Metropolis for that scene. K1 was so surprised that it was in Metropolis when it showed it big words in front of the Brainiac thing said Metropolis. And he totally completely missed that in the very beginning and goes, oh my god, it's in Metropolis? I was like, bruh.
Forgive me for seeing a goddamn Brainiac ship at the beginning and I was focused on that.
Yeah, but then it took over the Brainiac thing for like a good solid 10 seconds.
And yet you're wearing glasses!
He probably went to the bathroom right before the
He did, and he sat next to me. You were in the bathroom, White Square.
Okay.
Actually, no, you were sitting next to me, but you're on your computer, which is understandable.
Yeah.
But still, like, that just took me by surprise because as soon as the Brainiac ship showed up, I remembered the purple glow on the original poster, and I was like, okay, so that makes sense. Brainiac has taken control of the Justice League, so who are you gonna call?
Ghostbusters.
Sorry, I don't think they'll fit in that toaster.
Not with that attitude.
Okay, mister, please put Superman in that toaster.
All right, will do.
First, we need to call the Atom in order to make that happen.
That could work. But still.
So, character-wise, who would you guys like to play? As you saw the trailer, who would you like to play as? We'll start with JK Irving over here. From that trailer, from those 4, Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, King Shark, and Harley Quinn.
King
Who are you
Shark.
gonna play? Interesting. All right, King Shark. Y Square, who you got?
Either King Shark or Deadshot.
Okay. K1?
I'm going mainly Deadshot just because his new like remake look just looks so badass. It like literally looks like I thought the one in Injustice was badass, but like seriously, this one, damn.
Hell yeah, dude! I'm going with Captain Boomerang. Dude, you know how hilariously I'm gonna be in this game? It's just Boomerang after Boomerang. Like I could fucking kill Superman with this. But whenever Diablo comes out, I'm beating him. All right.
Well, that jumps into another question. So, there, right now we got 4 characters, but I know there's going to be some added down the line. So, no matter what they are, whoever has been in the Suicide Squad, who would you want as DLC or to be added in the game?
Polka Dot Man.
Okay.
I just want to play how ridiculous he's gonna be.
Killer Frost.
Okay.
No idea.
Pick someone from. You've seen the Suicide Squad, right?
Some.
Only once. Barely any names stuck, so.
Fine, we'll go with.
Just give me a
Ratcatcher
villain.
2.
Just there. Weasel. There we go.
And I'll go mainly with El Diablo or Deathstroke. Just
El
honestly.
Diablo, if he is announced, that is my main.
Unless Lorenzo Senpai wants to play with us, then you know he gets first dibs on that.
Fuck.
I'm just saying that was his boy. That was his boy.
I know, but I love the fire mechanics, man.
Mhm. But like,
If not, Captain Boomerang's the shit.
True. But then, like, the main thing of the mechanics, which, honestly, I'm glad they just did the trailer and then just said, yeah, 2022, so it gives it plenty more, especially knowing this is Rocksteady, you know they're going to take their time and make sure everything is good. So now my question is, like, how is the main thing, like, they even stated this in the conference of, how will the Suicide Squad hurt the Justice League? That's what I'm looking for, because, like, let's call it, if we're going up against the Justice League, the boss battles need to be intense. They need to be, like, tricky, but they need to be fair. It's like, if we're going to go against Superman, we better have, like, something.
Superman serum.
Like, or those pills, like, in Injustice. Or, like, a kryptonite beam to weaken him or some stuff. I don't care how.
Yeah, but the only people who have kryptonite is, well, maybe. But it's Lex and Batman.
True. But, like, there's always another way. Hello, remember those pills? Alfred beating the shit out of Superman.
Yes, but I don't think they're just gonna put that out of there, like, being as an ex machina.
Right. They're not just gonna, like, copy it, but they're gonna, like, make something able to help you actually damage these people.
What about Amanda Waller artificially creating kryptonite? That's a thing.
That could be one.
That is one of the things. Or, right before Batman gets, brainwashed, he sends Amanda Waller to the kill list.
Yeah, I could see that, like, literally seeing as.
But, like, this is, like, early stages and just, like, it's encrypted and you gotta figure it out or something like that,
Honestly, knowing the boss fights,
because I have a feeling Superman's gonna be last.
Yeah, of course. We already know Superman is going to be a combination of Brainiac and Superman combined. Like, that's how I see Superman's boss fight. Like, we beat him normally, but then Brainiac absolves him, and it's like a Brainiac Superman hybrid. So I see that as the final boss.
Or the biggest twist: we get to play as Superman defeating Brainiac.
Doubtful.
Yeah, that
Very
would
doubtful when the whole title was called Suicide Squad.
That would just be so anticlimactic. Like,
it's like you really want Superman 64 to come back in HD.
No, it's like the Superman Returns game when we fight all the villains and then the final boss is a fucking tornado.
Yeah.
That hurt, man. That freaking hurt.
Or it's like when you're playing Spider-Man 2 and you're facing Mysterio and it only takes one punch and you're fucking surprised about it.
Or when you're playing Batman Arkham Origins and you get hyped up for the Electrocutioner boss fight and you literally wait 10 minutes to make sure that he's not going to shock you and then you press square and it's over.
And it's like if you're like into the game and you're like, I get to be this guy, it just becomes a cutscene. Yeah, that's how it's going to be.
One thing I will say is the Batman boss fight better be like the Freeze boss fight in Arkham City. Like, you hurt Batman, but then literally, saw it, planned it, you can't do it over again. That would make so much sense for Batman's boss fight.
Yeah. Alright.
But overall, shoutouts to Rocksteady. We know you guys took literally 5 years and you're going to take another 2. Hey, from all of us at NXL, take your time. We will wait. We know you guys will deliver.
Anything else on the Suicide Squad, guys, before we move on?
Nothing.
On the game? No? Alright, Suicide Squad the movie! Woo! That also gave me goosebumps.
Facts.
With the, like, all-star lineup. Even, what's the, Flula. That threw me off. That they got the German YouTuber Flula into this. As what was he?
What? Was he? Oh, no, Javelin.
Yeah. But getting what's-his-face from Ant-Man to be Polka Dotted Man is, like, my all-time favorite. And then seeing Sean Gunn as Weasel is hilarious, but then they got what was it, Michael Rooker?
Yep, as Mary Poppins again.
Yeah. So
they were literally roasting him that
I'm
whole
literally
conference.
surprised that James Gunn's like, you know what? I need to bring my I wouldn't be surprised if Chris Pratt shows up as just a cameo, but I'm just seeing James Gunn's like, you know what? I love these guys in Guardians. Let's bring them over.
That would be amazing. But the one thing that took me by surprise was John
Pete
Cena.
Davidson? Oh, John Cena, yeah.
Yes, John Cena as Peacekeeper, and literally not Colonel Flag. Because I literally thought when they said John Cena was going to be in there, I was like, okay, he has to be Rick Flag. Like literally, John Cena, of course. If you haven't seen Bumblebee, he plays some of the best military roles ever. So I was expecting him to be Colonel Flag. But Peacekeeper, like he says, it's going to be a douchey Captain America. So he's a patriot. He just does it his own way. So just think of Captain America if he joined the Tea Party.
Yeah. And then Idris Elba is in it. Can't wait for that. Who was the other one that was very... Pete Davidson. I was like, what? What? It's going to be an interesting choice. Maybe a hilarity ensues.
But jumping off Irving's earlier statement, it's like the most surprising villain I didn't expect to be in there, Ratcatcher 2. I literally was not seeing that, and I was like, okay, that's good. Honestly, I wanted Ratcatcher to be in something.
Ratcatcher 2? Wow.
Ratcatcher 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
Good stuff.
Nice.
Yep.
Yes. Indeed.
So finishing up on Suicide Squad, I love the behind the scenes that they gave us.
Mm.
I'm glad that James Gunn is back. For this, is he back for Guardians 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm glad he's back. He's done an amazing job.
Mm.
Wow. Mm. But all-star cast, I love it.
Yes, I will agree.
Yep. And jumping off of that, surprisingly, with this movie, there's going to be a lot of deaths because all of these characters are basically deep cut from the comics. Characters that are D, C, and F list characters.
Polka Dotted Man.
Yep.
Well,
I was so surprised he added him, and I'm just like, wait, James Gunn, I like what you're doing right now. I'm just going to bring you back.
Well, that pulls up to the biggest question we have. Who is going to get Wallered first? Out of every single person, who is going to break Project X and literally get Wallered?
Javelin.
Lula? Maybe.
I
like they announced for the first one Slipknot, and I'm like, who?
Yeah.
They're going to be dead. But James Gunn, due to the fact that he's bringing low-list villains up from the grave and out of the shadows, it's hard to pick.
Well, I'm going to go mainly with Blackguard because it just looks like that out of everyone, he has the most of just turning on people.
Guys, it's Rooker. I'm just letting you know it's Rooker. Probably.
Yeah.
It's going to be Rooker's character. Just because the way that everyone's acting towards him is he's the shit show. He's going to be the one who's going to be killed off and to start this shit all over again.
Hey, as long as he gets some time to actually be in a battle and he's not the, oh, well, what happens if we don't do it? And Waller just goes, beep, and I'm just like, any more questions? I'm just like.
Yeah, they won't do that. James Gunn wouldn't do that. But yeah, just really excited for this movie. 2022, is it 2022 or is it 2021?
2021.
Okay. Thank you. JK. Jones. Sorry, bud. But on that, we shall now open the floor to Y Square, and we will answer any of his DC questions that he has, and we will answer it to the best of our knowledge. Go.
Welcome to Educating Y Square, DC edition.
Okay, so clearly, for anyone hearing this, I'm coming in from a near blank slate of knowledge of anything DC related.
He's seen some of the movies.
I've seen some of the movies. I know a few characters, a name or two, a place or two.
But his memory's bad. But
no, it's not that my memory's bad. It's that nothing stuck nearly as easily as some other things. or rather like it just stays in the background, you know. So like, what even is the Suicide Squad? Like, who or what came up with its name?
Amanda Waller. So it was Task Force X.
Yep, X.
Wow, I can't speak today, but Task Force X, and it's a bunch of convicts, high tier convicts with powers and just craziness. And Amanda Waller just puts a bomb in a brain and goes, "You're working for me. If you don't, click, boom." And it's mostly like top tier hush hush missions that no one anywhere needs to know that you guys are doing this, and they only do it for like a reduced sentence.
I.e., 10 years off a 3-year up to three times life sentence. So, but hey, you got a cappuccino machine out of it.
But like, you know, half the time they escape anyway, because as soon as they're done with the mission, the thing comes out, and they're back to normal, and then they escape, and then they come back, and it's a whole ordeal.
Alright, so let me see. Like, how did Joker and Harley Quinn meet? Like, how did?
Our Joker expert will answer this.
Yeah.
Joker was a patient at Arkham Asylum. Harley was a doctor in criminal psychology, and she was one of the Joker's psychiatrists. And if you know, if you've seen Batman animated series, Harley Quinn becomes his doctor, falls in love. And there you go.
Okay.
She goes into a vat of acid. The same acid that Joker went into.
Sponsored by Ace Chemicals. Ace Chemicals. When you're looking to become crazy, use Ace Chemicals.
Please don't confuse it with acne.
Oh.
Acid. Also, don't take this for acid either. You'll have a bad time.
Alright, let me see.
You could be anything in the DC universe, Chief.
Keep throwing them on us, bro.
Gotham City. I
Whatever.
don't even know what question to form about it, but something tells me Gotham City.
Is in New Jersey. Yes.
No, Gotham is New York, and
It's in New Jersey. Comic-wise, it's in New Jersey.
I thought Gotham City was
I'm
Delaware,
thinking-
or was I thinking Metropolis? Because one of them.
Metropolis, I believe, is in Delaware.
Because one of them.
That was
they're
based
both
after
across
Los
the Delaware
Angeles.
Bay from each other.
No. Metropolis is in like it's based off of what it looks like, but the location's like Delaware.
Well, that is
Because it has to be
true.
across from Gotham.
Well, it is
Yeah.
true because
Actually, no.
No? Okay.
No, actually, that was only in the Snyderverse, where Gotham City was across from Metropolis. Metropolis is around the Great Lakes area.
So like
City.
Ohio and all that.
Yeah.
technically that would be because, like, you know, fun fact, Lex Luthor, you know, built Metropolis from nothing. So if it's in the Great Lakes, I could see it being barren and then being built. So, okay, from the ground up. Okay, and what were you saying about Gotham City?
No, I just didn't know how to form a full question of it, but something tells me to ask something about Gotham City. I'm like, what to ask?
There's so much. Gotham City has
Yeah.
so many secrets. Like, just throw something out.
Okay.
Like you can throw out keywords and we can figure out what you're trying to form.
Okay. The Arkham Asylum itself. How? Who founded it, or how was it founded?
I got this one.
Go for
This
it.
one. So, technically, it was first founded by Amadeus Arkham, who literally wanted to help people by, you know, curing them of their, like, madness. So, you know, he took his own family's land and, at first, like, had a small hospital, you know, just a simple hospital. And one of his patients, you know, codename Mad Dog, I don't know his last name, was literally his greatest challenge because this man had killed and murdered so many people. Like, he wanted to see, can I cure him? Can I cure him? And he actually worked with him to a point that Mad Dog actually opened up. And Amadeus Arkham was literally, like, glad. He thought, finally, I've done it. I found the way to mess with the human psyche and actually change people. Then Mad Dog, when released, literally came back to the hospital and killed Arkham's wife and children. Like, literally broke the man to the point when he literally came in for his first session, Arkham literally killed Mad Dog in cold blood. This allowed him to literally go mad and literally be locked up in his own asylum. So, the gist of it is that the spirit of Amadeus Arkham still roams around Arkham Asylum, driving the inmates mad. Thus why it is the worst place to send criminals, but it's the only place that can house them after technically the Wayne Foundation buys it and literally updates its security, because then, like in the beginning, it was easy. Easy, you can get through it. It wasn't until Bruce Wayne actually bought it and gave it the secure place that it actually became a full-fledged prison. Like, it went from a mental home to an actual prison for supervillains. But the whole thing is, like, Amadeus Arkham is still, like, connected, like his spirit will never rest. And if you literally play Arkham Asylum, there is a whole mission dedicated to literally finding out the whole story of Amadeus Arkham and the origin of Arkham Asylum.
Any questions that are different from Batman's universe?
Okay.
Like,
okay. I'm thinking. Okay, Green Arrow, but I'm just like picking out
Okay.
random superheroes. How did he become to be? Like,
so if you go from different iterations of how Green Arrow, I'm gonna go off for the CW so it's easier. So if you want to watch it, you can watch it.
Mhm.
So basically, Green Arrow is Oliver Queen, and he was just like Bruce, but without that secret identity in the beginning. Until he took a trip on the Queen's Gambit with his father and his girlfriend's sister. A whole different aspect of it. And something went wrong and the ship started sinking. So him, his father, and I think it was the driver, the captain, was on it and realized that his father realized there wasn't enough supplies for him. So he shot the captain and then he goes, "You need to live and survive," and kills himself, leaving Oliver by himself. And he gets to the hell was that island? Guys, island.
Beyond you.
Thank you. Beyond you, which is purgatory in Chinese. And he meets up with a guy named Yao Fei, who teaches him the way of the arrow, and then it's a whole 5 years of different shit. And then he comes back, and then he rights his father's wrongs. And then he goes from there, and he just upgrades himself. So he's just a very good archer.
let's see.
So if you want to watch it, it is on Netflix. The whole entire series is on there, because the series is done.
Okay.
So eight seasons of awesomeness. You can skip a few seasons because of the lovey-dovey, but action is on point.
Right? As long as you watch the literal League of Assassins and Damien Dark, that's all it needs, like, straight up. Some of the best seasons were that.
Also, if you are watching it in order, you got to jump over to some of the other CW shows, like Flash vs. Arrow. Got to go to Flash then Arrow, and then it's the
Crisis on Earth X?
No. It's the one with
The Dominators, Alien Invasion crossover.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And then it's Vandal Savage.
Oh, right. Third.
And then Crisis on Earth
X,
and
then Crisis on
Infinite Earths.
Okay.
No. Vandal Savage was first before the Dominators.
Yeah.
Because Supergirl was introduced to the whole universe of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the second time she was introduced, but this is the first time she was introduced to Team Arrow.
Okay.
She was already introduced to only Barry Allen.
Alright.
And you got a lot. Are you looking up DC characters on your laptop? Guys, for you guys that don't know, he has Google Images up for Justice League.
And thus we now know who you are incarnating as a villain, the Thinker.
Ah, yeah. Oh, so yeah, the Thinker. jumping on a different topic. The Thinker's in it as the 13th Doctor. Is it the 13th Doctor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually very surprised about that, and jumping back to Whitesburg.
Yep. Hang on. I'm just like combing through like the DC related.
Here, you know what? I'm gonna give you a topic, and then you ask a question, and we'll answer it. Superman, what you got?
Alright. Superman. Let's see. Midnight Origins, Planet Krypton.
Yeah, he has that little bit of knowledge. I like it.
Yeah, it's that's all I know about Superman. Like he has a home planet like somewhere far away.
He had
Yeah.
a home planet.
Had.
And just to let you know, his non-biological mother and Bruce's biological mother have the same name, Martha. So dumb.
And yet it took 75 years for everyone to figure it out.
True.
Yeah.
Just like that movie. Martha.
How do you know that name?
Martha.
Hey,
Joker!
hey, I will still defend that scene till my last breath.
I'm sorry, but like I heard a story. Someone tried to get a discount for Martha, and I'm just like, wait, what?
I would have been that guy that goes, how do you know that name?
So, like, did Planet Krypton get the Alderaan treatment, or did it get the Scorched Earth treatment, or what happened?
Neither. From what I know from the comics is that Kryptonians were doing a whole lot of shit on their planet. They fucked up their own planetary core, and that led to the planet's destruction and the creation of kryptonite.
Wonder Woman. You're just gonna go from each Justice League person, the main core, and then you just ask one question about them, and we'll answer. So Wonder Woman.
Okay. How did she and Superman meet, or like were they relatives? I think they're from the same planet, right?
No. So Wonder Woman is like in Greece. So this is like all Greece mythology type thing. Superman is just an alien from a different planet.
Yeah.
She is just like kind of a goddess race, kind of.
Yeah. She's a demigoddess.
Yeah. So she's there. They just kind of, depending on what you read, sometimes they met, to come together to defeat a greater evil. In the DCEU, they met to defeat Doomsday in Batman v Superman. There's just different iterations of how they met.
Okay.
But one thing, jumping off what the Wonder Woman is, remember Themyscira is on Earth. It's just split because there's like a magical barrier around it that makes it look like the sea, and only can be entered if the Amazons allow it. Because remember, the Amazons, Themyscira is literally free of men because they believe men are literally the cause of war, famine, and hatred.
I'm trying to think of it equal. It's like Black Panther with Wakanda. You know how it's hidden from the world, but everyone thinks it's a third world country?
Uh-huh.
It's kind of like that, minus the third world country part. Just no one knows about it.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But also remember
Amazon,
the reason that Diana is so powerful is she is a child of man. Because, one of the things people forget about Themyscira is literally how they make more Amazon is they mold their daughters out of clay and bring them to life. Yes, that was actually one of the comics. That's how Themyscirians would actually reproduce. But literally, Diana's mother laid with, in like comics terms, it's either Zeus or Hades, and she is literally the product of man and God. That's why she's so powerful, because she is actually a biological child of woman and man. So that's really the reason why she's so powerful.
Alright, we're gonna jump to, I'll give you a choice, Flash or Cyborg?
Cyborg. Yeah,
Alright, what's your question for Cyborg?
So, is cybernetic enhancements, like, where did he get them? Or did he build them himself?
His father is a, scientist with, depending on which one, sometimes he's in Star Lab, sometimes he has his own. And he got into like a freak accident that turned him into this, and I believe it was his dad that helped build him. In some cases, some other cases I forget, but mostly it's his dad built him up again, making him a cyborg, and then he thinks he's a freak. The whole spiel of being reborn again type thing.
It's literally the equivalent. Is like he was a star athlete, but he was also really smart. And his main thing was he had popularity, he had brains. The only thing he didn't have was his father's like attention. So
I mean, he had love and attention. But so if we're talking about like if you saw Justice League, it was the freaking box
Mother Box.
Mother Box is what turned him into what he is, and like the rest is history on that.
Yeah,
Alright.
but
Sorry.
well, yeah, but it's just like in the like original comics, one is like a plane crash, one is a car accident, one is where he gets zapped by one of Darkseid's little underlings in the animated version. So it literally all happens, but one key thing is he merges with a Mother Box. That's literally where his cybernetic comes from.
You have two more core. You have Green Lantern or Flash.
We'll go with the Flash.
All right, what's up?
So, had there been any instances where Flash had surpassed the speed of light rather than like running at the speed of light?
He's running very fast enough. So in some cases, like fast enough for time travel itself, as Flashpoint's coming up, which for Flashpoint, it's where he saves his mother and his mother lives, and these events change how everything is. Like for this one, it's gonna be that Bruce dies instead of his parents, and his dad becomes Batman, and his mom becomes Joker.
Superman, instead of falling into Kansas,
Military.
yeah, he falls into the city metropolis, and the government takes over.
And the people of Thermos, they say it.
Themyscira.
And Atlantis are at war.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a big thing.
Yeah.
And then Barry slowly loses powers, and then has to go talk to Thomas Wayne and all that. Spoilers if you guys haven't read it or watched the animated of Flashpoint. That's what happens to get his powers back. But now he's running as fast. He can even run faster in his own Speed Force as well.
Gotcha.
But also remember, he literally becomes the Speed Force when he actually disappears. Because remember, he actually can run so fast, he can go through all 52 universes and literally punch someone so hard that their existence will literally...
Yeah, and B specifically is Barry Allen, not Wally West.
True.
Yeah. Barry Allen is one of the fastest men alive.
Mm-hmm.
Man, there was a point I was going to say, but then I just forgot.
How Wally West.
No, it's not about Wally, it was about Barry. About his speed. I had it in my head, but then it disappeared. So we're going to get Green Lantern, and let's see if that jogs my memory. So last one, Green Lantern.
Yeah.
What you got?
So does he emit holograms from his ring?
He can emit whatever he wants, as long as he has willpower. That is what his ring's power is willpower. If he has the will, he has the way.
I think of like...
That's literally the premise of the whole entire ring. If there's a will, there's a way.
Literally, out of all the Lantern colors, the two most powerful combination is will and hope. Because as long as you have hope, you have will, and as long as you have will, you have hope. So those combined is just an infinite source of power.
Not infinite. He does have to recharge it.
That's what yeah.
Well,
By saying the oath and with a giant ass lantern. That it can run out. And if you don't have willpower, it will stop working.
Unless that one time he jumped.
Unless you have an ex machina.
Or you jump into the battery itself and become the core.
That's right.
You've done that, and that gives you infinite.
So you see, I have the cups. So the cups I have is life and death, the white and the black, and I believe we have the indigo one. The fuck's the indigo one? The one that's
Compassion.
That's it.
Okay.
That is the one we have.
Yeah, because there's red for rage, orange for greed. Greed.
Yep. Yellow for fear.
Pink for love.
Green for willpower.
Blue for hope.
Oh no, we also have, I think we have the love one as well. I'm not sure. And then blue for hope, indigo for compassion, black for death, and white for life. Before we ended, do you have any overall question?
Alright, if they got into if the Justice League got into a beer pong match with each other, who would be the most likely to win?
Flash.
Batman.
Flash.
Superman.
I say Flash because he would just slow down time and just pinpoint it correctly.
Batman, because he's already going to think of every projectile. Like, he could literally off Wonder Woman's sword, through, like, Flash's head, off one of Superman's pecs, and into that. That's what he would do it. Batman would do it.
So, I just remember what I was going to say about Flash's speed. In comics and shows, they always have Superman and Flash racing each other, which Superman wins. When when Flash died, because he didn't run fast enough or something, Superman was was all about, if you were fast enough, why did you let me win? It was like, it's for charity, man. People love you. He can outrun Superman.
But he still owes him brunch.
Yes. But he is faster than Superman. But on that note, thank you guys for listening. Please comment down below what was your favorite part about DC Fandom. And if you have any DC questions that needs to be answered, put it down in the comments and we'll answer them. And as always, I'm Hollow Otaku, and keep moving forward. We'll see you in the next video.
Yes, but before we end, also special shout-outs to everyone who brought DC Fandom. Thank you very much. Thank you, no matter if you did movies, comics, the art, cosplays, games, no matter what. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Except for that one guy who was stalling for time that could have just entered into the next panel, but no! But also wear a damn mask.
And thank you, Jim Lee, for organizing the entire Fandom event.
And keep kids out of school.
Laters.